to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I'm reporting live and direct from Eden, beloveds. From the foothills of Mount Zion, just doing my thing, living life truly on my own terms increasingly. And I really pray that that's what's happening in you, that you are creating your own path, your own story. You know, there's one of our great African brothers who's been in this enlightenment and spiritual awakening movement for so long. I know many of you have heard of him, Ralph Smart of Infinite Waters. I was actually watching him the other day, and he was talking about how, you know, if you don't have a plan for your life, then someone else will give you a plan. And that's what a lot of people are finding themselves in, the situation a lot of people are finding themselves in. Because, beloveds, the greatest adversary you have to face right now is not your government, it's not Babylon trying to give you poison, it's not, your boss trying to make you take the poison. Those aren't your greatest adversaries. Your greatest adversary is the unenlightened and unawakened dimension of yourself, because that is a part of yourself that will let you down. That is a part of yourself that will make you not complete this marathon, because we're in a mental marathon right now where your convictions really have to stand the test of time. And you constantly have to, replenish. You see how much energy Babylon spends in trying to tell you a story and trying to convince you of a narrative. So that should tell you how important it is what you're telling yourself. And right now, what you know is what's going to get you out of, into safety. It's what's going to get you out of the Babylon plans and help you raise yourself above. But the greatest adversary, beloveds, is the ignorant part of ourselves. And that has to be the first part that we start to heal and reconcile. That's why I'm saying, if you want to get stronger, if you want to be more powerful, work on yourself first. Sort out all the issues. If you want to operate in real spiritual power, if you want to help, chant down Babylon, chant down the ignorant, demonic side of yourself, beloveds, that the Babylon system has nurtured in you since birth. There's this quote that I absolutely used to love, and it says there's two wolves inside of you. One, a destroyer and a creator, and they're fighting each other they're fighting each other to the death. And which one wins? The one that you feed. I don't even know who did that quote. That really shifted so much when I heard that, because I realized there was a destructive and a creative side in me when I started my conscious walk, when I started awakening. And I realized that they were always, I'd get so far, I'd take like 10 steps in my conscious walk, and then one small destructive, insecure thought would get me taking a few steps back. So I realized, before you get ahead of yourself, get in yourself. And really just start to make it a routine to deal with your issues, beloveds. Because those are the issues that are going to trip you up. If you haven't dealt with your daddy issues, if you haven't dealt with your mommy issues, then that may get you sticking in toxic relationships that will literally lead you to the death chamber. So we have to heal ourselves. No one is coming to do this for us. We have to do the hard work for ourselves, beloveds. We have to confront the parts of ourselves that are still in pain, that are still in ignorance, any ignorance. And deal with that first, beloveds, so that we can make it through. these, perilous times. Because if you haven't dealt with, the bully in the playground that you had to deal with, then Babylon will bully you into doing anything. You have to work on your self-confidence. So whatever takes away from that, that's what you need to confront and literally destroy in yourself. It's not really a destroying, it's just a rising above. It's like, burning those sides of us so that we can hold a higher energy of light and power and truth. So really, the greatest battle you'll face is with yourself. And that battle is about your faith, beloveds, which has totally been decimated and destroyed and because if they've mashed up your faith, then it makes it 10 times as hard to come out of some of these situations. My cat just climbed a tree behind me. So it's not so much, a lot of us have worked on on the fake stories we've been told, the fake narratives, how they took our cultural artifacts, how they whitewashed history, and all of that. But we need to go deeper and work on the fundamentals, which is our faith, our self-love. We have to love ourselves so much at this time, to stand in the truth, even against our family and our friends and our frenemies and society. We have to love ourselves so much to say, I'm not going to take this, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do this. We have to stand up for ourselves. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal is faith. If some of you just got yourself together and got your self-confidence back and really worked on self, you would be more powerful than some of these leaders and movers and shakers that we're doing. You'd be seeing things happening. I'm telling you, you get to a level where you declare a thing and then the next day you see it trending on Twitter and you're like, whoa. Because you said that thing with faith and conviction that it must come to pass. That's the level you want to reach at. Then once we reach that level, now we can talk about, okay, let's chant down Babylon, and everyone can chant down Babylon. Not even everyone, even just 100K of us chant down Babylon, and the next day we see significant change. Because enough of us are chanting down Babylon mentally, but it's taking so long for it to mentally fall, because so many of our people are chanting Babylon up just by supporting their agenda. And so really what mashes many people up right now is their thinking. And some don't even give it the credit it deserves, the importance it deserves. Nothing in this world matters if you're not thinking right. And you can't make any contribution if you don't have faith in yourself. So beloveds, how do we do this? Start feeding the angel and not the demon inside of you. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Welcome back, beloveds, to Wake Up Africa. I don't know if I said ask Dr. Mumbi on the previous one, but anyway, to Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? There's just so much to share and so little time. So almost this show is like a first aid. Like it's just supposed to give you some significant keys that you'll run with in your own life to kind of accelerate your own awakening. Because if you've started the journey of awakening, you're going to awaken, whether you watch Dr. Mumbi's spiritual show or not or whatever. But There are certain spiritual teachers and spiritual beings who will be brought to as confirmation to give you the necessary information you need to accelerate your process, to give you a key that unravels everything. Because everything, we just need to get out of the maze of our minds, beloveds. And so it usually happens through keywords just that change everything. We'll hear someone, give a speech on the chosen ones, and it will trigger this thing in us where we're like, whoa, I'm chosen. And then it triggers this whole awakening, and you start looking back at the miraculous things that happened in your life, and that shifts you already. That elevates you. And I think that's what's important right now, because there are two wolves inside each and every one of us. It's like the Mzungu wolf and the African wolf. And we want the African wolf inside of us to win. Which means we have to starve out the Mzungu wolf, beloveds. Starve out the Mzungu wolf. My cat has literally climbed this fence you can see behind me, beloveds, and is trying to get a bird. Anyway. Starve out the Mzungu wolf inside you so the African wolf can live. Which means stop listening to all the Babylon jargon and distraction. Start feeding your mind, your information system, with more information about your people, with more facts. Like if you're trying to deal with a pandemic right now, make sure that whatever you're supporting, wherever your conviction is, you're listening to more of what they're saying than those who are on the opposite side of you. That's how you feed the angel or the African wolf. And there's so many mental exercises that you can get into, beloveds. But it has to be given the most utmost priority. It really is the most important thing you can be doing right now. And if you have children, start to see what's in your children's minds by having deeper conversations with them, getting them to do art and things like that. That's a great way to see what's flowing through your child's consciousness. But you can't help your child if you're not okay. So you have to feed that righteousness in you by knowing the information, and no one's going to bring you the information. And the greatest disservice that the Babylon system has done to the majority of us is it's made us lazy. It's made many people lazy to even figure out their own truth, lazy to question the religious doctrines they're given, lazy to question some of the stories they're told, lazy to question what the government is doing. Many are happy, go unlucky. Unhappy, go unlucky. We feed the Mzungu wolf in us when we're constantly tuning in. Because you see, where your attention goes, your life goes, beloveds. Your energy goes, your everything. So if the majority of your day is spent listening to what Babylon is saying, then you're feeding the Babylon wolf. If the majority of your time is spent within the Babylon system, then you're feeding the Babylon wolf. If you're still living the Babylon lifestyle of, going to restaurants and going to the theater and watching football, then, Babylon has you. And you can think, no, I can do this and then I'll drop it later. No, this is the time to drop those things, beloveds. Because this is how they're going to hook many people. And you see, right now, they were trying to entice. Then they're going to try and hook. Then they're going to try and force. So you need to have really starved out that Mzungu demonic wolf way before you get to that junction. Listen more to what your people are saying. Listen, in whatever area that you're interested in. Learn to seek sources from your own communities. Because we have brilliant melanated people who are doing the research, who are doing the exposés. There's this guy, Chigozi's Truth, brilliant. JW TV show, brilliant. And JW has several. Exposing. Let's learn to listen to more of our own voices. And not our voices that are compromised by the enemy. And I don't need to give any names. I know you know who I'm speaking about. And let's get out of those any narrative that shows us in a negative light, click off. Racist Karen does this. Not for me, not today. You know? As painful as it is, this happens to black man, not today. This happens to, get out of all those narratives, beloveds. Because they're being created to keep us from our power. And accessing your power is as simple as asking. I've done a video actually. We have not because we ask not. So change your conversations. Change the conversations you're having with. And if the people you're having conversations with don't want to change the conversations, then change the people. Make sure everything you're doing is feeding the melanated, I was going to say dragon. Oh, well, okay. The melanated wolf inside of you. So that when the hour reaches for the Babylon wolf inside of you to fully attack your melanated wolf inside of you, these two dimensions, when they come to war, the Muzungu wolf will be so weak that it will be easily overcome by your ancient African mind. Beloveds, you just need to keep at it. Every day, some days are easier than others in this awakening and reconciliation journey because we're reforming ourselves. Keep at it. It always gets better. Tuko pamoja.